please take this seriously. No questions in the middle of my questions, please. And if you would like to respond
Course.
to something, Sam, there's just a little chat in the bottom. Feel free to reach out to me there. But do not interrupt me, okay?
Dude, I brought my resume, so.
Dude, you look great. Your hair looks fantastic. I see that you have shaved off what I guess would some people did you shave at all in the past few days?
I shaved like a very small amount of like the neck beard, but that's about it.
Okay. I don't know, man. I think you should let it rage. When's the most you've grown out your facial hair?
This actually, the only thing I've been shaving is my neck hair, and that's just because I don't like that. But everything else, this is the most.
Oh shit. All right.
Dude, I can't grow a beard. Like my face doesn't do it. So this has been like all of quarantine.
Is it like, see, I don't know any science behind facial hair growing. I feel like a lot of people concur with the myth that, oh, you just got to grow it out a lot and then shave it and then just grow it out a lot and then shave it, which I mean, I guess I've done that, and I guess it kind of grows back a little more full each time, but I have no idea how to defend the science behind that. So I don't.
Yeah, dude, I don't prescribe to that at all. I think you just gotta like let it grow. But the only reason I didn't is because I want to look presentable to people. But now, like,
who
so why not?
cares?
Yeah.
Well, your hair looks great. Appreciate you doing your hair. Yeah. Do you put product in it?
No, not at all. It's just naturally like stand-uppy, which is cool.
Okay. Well,
how about you?
I do. Yeah. I put a little bit of shaping. I used to do like the pomade, and now it's just like a shaping, not gel, but it's like a paste, like a little pasty thing.
Yeah.
Put like a little bit on my index finger, and then just so it just kind of stays up. But I haven't used it since the quarantine started because, like you said, there's no one I'm really trying to look good for.
Yeah, your hair looks nice though. Good job.
Thanks, man. I took a shower.
Dude, me too. That's crazy.
It is crazy. I heard about them for the longest time, and I was like, I'm gonna try one of these showers. And I tried it, and I feel good.
Yeah, dude, same. I decided this is a new shirt. I actually haven't worn this shirt ever. This is the debut of this shirt.
Is it really?
It is, yeah. So I had to tear the tag off. If you see a tag on me, that is why. But I don't think there's one on me.
It looks nice, man. It looks like It looks like, this is such a weird thing to say. It looks like a sonogram.
Oh, I can see that.
You know
no, that's
not
a weird thing to say. That's actually very observant.
Yeah, it's like the sort of crackliness, kind of like a television screen when it's not on a channel or like not on a proper thing. It's like got a static to it,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. I don't think sonograms are normally like red. It'd be a weird sonogram.
No. Yeah, definitely not a crimson color. What if on the back you just didn't even notice there was just like a baby?
That would be something I would buy, though. I just wouldn't notice it. I wouldn't notice it. I'd buy it. I'd wear it. People would be like, "Did you mean to buy that shirt?" And I would have to play it off. I have no choice but to be like, "Yes."
People would be like, "Is he trying to make a statement? Is it just art? Is he artsy? What is that?
Man.
It's like avant-garde. I don't understand."
I don't have a teleprompter prompt for that.
Well, cool. Well, dude, thanks for being here. This is just a little silly thing. It's kind of like whatever the show is, Whose Line, where something, the points don't matter. This doesn't matter. This actually probably brings you down a couple of notches here in life. But I'm going to ask you a few questions, Sam. You're one of the most happy-go-lucky guys I've met at Power. But I don't know too much about how you spend your days. I was curious as to, like, if you were to look back 10 years from now at your time now, what would you say that you do too much of or too little of at this moment?
Is it at this moment?
No. Not counting quarantine. Just okay. In general.
Okay, cool. I would honestly say like I overthink a lot. I think about like everything. Just that, like I said, like going back on conversations, what could I have said better? After this, I guarantee I'm going to write down the different responses and be like, Dylan, we got to do it again. Teasing. But yeah, just overthinking is what I would say I did. I did a lot, like way too much of.
You'll play over scenarios that either happened or maybe will happen, and you like go through all of the possible what's it called? Possible outcomes, circumstances.
Yeah, no, I think a lot less about what will happen and what could happen, and a lot more about what did happen, which doesn't really make sense because I can't really change it. So why am I thinking about it besides like trying to get better from it? So that's why I've been trying to focus on that during this quarantine.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you, man. And as far as podcasting goes or any sort of recording, it is I don't know, it might drive you nuts because that was the hardest thing about, like, obviously this is a little thing that I've been doing for quarantine, but I've had a podcast outside of this for about a year before working at Power. And one of the most difficult things starting out, aside from listening to my own voice, which no one likes at first, but you do get used to it. Like, you really do just get used. You eventually, it's like you said, it's like, well, this is the one thing I can't really control. I'm not going to do voices every single time, so you get used to that. But the hardest thing for me was just I would have to listen to it over and over again and just constantly obsess over, like, why didn't you say this? Why did you say this at this moment? Why didn't you say, like, everything? It's just hindsight, everything, the perfect thing to say always comes to you after the moment that you said something else. And yeah, it's weird how that works. It's just, it's the present moment, and whatever comes out, and sometimes it's weird, and it's awkward, and it's not
100%.
fun. And whoa. Sorry, they're actually doing right. My next door neighbors, they're getting their roof. They're getting their roof done right now.
Oh no.
Yep. And it's like, there was what's it called? There was just like banging and like very loud noises early in the morning, and then all the way up until now. So through the town hall, so I'm just like through all these work calls, and people are just like, "Man, I miss work," and I'm just like, "Well, they're working.
Yeah.
We could be up there."
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, I was getting sidetracked.
You're good. Well, while you broke that wall, by the way, real fast, since I'm on my phone here, does it work better for your screen if I like tilt it this way or this way, or does it not matter?
It quite literally doesn't matter at all.
You're great. Cool. I noticed like that was the orientation, and so I didn't know if it affects the thing. But anyways, cool.
No, as long as you're not upside down, and even then, I don't think it would matter.
Dude, that'd be a cool difference to it if I was just upside down. That'd be great.
Yeah. Well, you should hang upside down. Don't tilt your screen. Don't tilt your phone. Just like start
physically.
Yes. Or just do a handstand for the remainder of this podcast.
Oh man.
But dude, overthinking. I don't really. I mean, obviously, I've met some people, but I feel like that's just something, like, everybody does that. Everybody spends a lot of time just analyzing and often over analyzing things that they've done in the past, and it's a big ask. It's hard to find that balance between, okay, let me analyze what I've done so I can learn from it and not obsess over it, as opposed to, obsessing too much of it over it and not learning enough about it. And I don't have the answer, certainly, and it's something that you said that you're working on right now, and
yeah.
It's something that we work on every day. What about something that you do too little of right now?
I do too little of, like, in general, there is that's something I do too little of is like reaching out to people and like talking to people and like trying to be friends with somebody. A lot of the people I'm friends with in general, it's just because like we just happen to spend a lot of time with each other just for something else, and then just kind of fall into friendship because we have things in common. Rather than, I know a lot of people will like, they like somebody and they hang out with them a little bit through things they have to do, but then they extend that by reaching out to them, inviting them to things. I don't do that for some reason. I just kind of let friendship come to me, and so that like it does happen. But I would rather like see somebody that I want to be friends with and be like, I'm going to be that person's friend.
Yeah, whether they like it or not.
Okay, well, I didn't go that far, but
yeah, man, it's interesting. Like, we talk about, especially at Power, we talk about fear of rejection all the time, but there are so many different types of rejection. And I think one type of rejection that is just one of the most powerful is like just rejection from a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a significant other, just like, okay, I think Sam's really cool. Maybe I'll ask if he wants to hang out. But there's always that fear of, well, what if he thinks I'm annoying as shit, and he doesn't want to do that. And you know, anytime he is nice to me, it's just him being a nice person. It's not that he actually. It's just, again, overthinking, like just creating your own story, and even worse, creating a story about yourself from the perspective of other people. That's just one of the craziest things that we do, man. It's just like
100%.
you don't know what they're thinking, man. And the only way to kind of see what the story is to actually like put yourself out there and you know, make them tell you the story, which sounds like I'm preaching to you. I'm sorry. It's just,
No, you're good, man.
You're making me think about things, which is good. I like thinking about things, so thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was pretty easy. All I did is just not talk. That's great.
But yeah,
But
like,
yeah, dude.
I mean, we've all had. I think it comes from like we've all had people annoy us, or who like reach out to us and want to be our friend, and we find them annoying. I feel like at some point in our lives, we've all had a person like that. And so I feel like we take that and we go, oh my God, I never want to be that to anybody else.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I feel that too, man. And
it's different from our job though, in my opinion, just because like in our job, like at least to me, like when I'm rejected, it's not necessarily me that's being rejected. It's like power, it's the concept, you know what I mean? It's the product. Like I don't take that personally because it's not, I don't think it's personal. But like when someone rejects like a friendship or a relationship or a connection with you, and by relationship, I just mean a connection in general, like that's personal. And if it's not personal, then like you're obviously not being vulnerable enough. So, you know.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Like you're being yourself, and the product that you're trying to sell, so to speak, is yourself. It's like,
yeah,
I'd like to sell you spending time with me and having conversations with me, and especially if it's a significant other, like sharing love with me. I mean that in multiple ways, not just the one. And yeah, what'd you say?
I was gonna say, yeah, it wasn't weird till you said it, but cool.
It usually isn't, but yeah, it's like that is the number one rejection. It's like, no, I get it. No, like I understand like what this is. No, thank you. Like I reject you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crushing, man. I don't
100%,
know.
dude.
I don't know how to tie a bow on that, but it's all uphill from here. Sam, what's something that everyone loves that you think is overrated?
That's a really hard question. Like really hard question. Partially because depending on my mood, I like everything. I don't mind anything. But and also depending on my mood, everything's overrated. But honestly, like I would have to say, and this is partially just because like I've never really like made myself get into it. But like streaming, like watching people play video games, like I've never ever, I think, like watched like a Twitch streamer or anything like that. It's just not something I got into. I'm sure I would enjoy it if I did it, if I like sat down and found a streamer like I liked. But I know so many people that are into it, and I'm just not. Like it just doesn't seem appealing to me. I'd rather play the video game with friends that I'm making jokes with rather than watch other people do that.
Yeah. How insane is it, the amount of money that people, like children, are making online by just playing video games and
man,
having people watch them?
Dude, that's crazy, dude. Like, oh man.
Like I was a kid, I played video games all my life. I never made $1 doing any of it.
Yeah, man, it seems so easy too. Like you watch it, but then like you look in the background too, and it's not that easy. Like a lot of people put in so much effort.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, I mean there are literally like kids who can't even drive yet, like living with their parents, who have who are making millions of dollars just by posting on. I see, and now I sound like an old man because I'm just like, and these kids, and they're posting their streams. I mean, what is a stream? Well, like that's true. Like I don't know really the difference between Twitch or just like live streaming on any other service. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I imagine I could learn and, fairly quickly, but like you, it's never been like, yes, this is something that I have to get into.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, I feel that same way. Like, it's just not something that like I've ever touched into or anything like that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, the probably the heaviest question that I ask whenever I have had someone on here is, well, I'm curious as to what negative experience you've had, one you would not wish to repeat, but it has significantly impacted your life for the better.
Better. So this is a difficult question because I'm being completely honest. This isn't like a motivational answer. This is not like a groomed answer. But like anything that has impacted me for the better, there's nothing that's impacted me for the better that I would say I don't want to repeat. Like even in the most negative experience in my life, if it's impacted me for the better, like I still want that. I look back on that and I appreciate that. So what I decided, what I am picking for this answer is an experience that was like very negative and life changing, but I think has had the biggest impact on me. And that was like during when I was in college, my senior year. I forget if I've mentioned this to you before, but I was my like student body president my senior year of college. And but previous to that, I ran every year I could. I ran 3 years in a row, and I lost the first 2 times. And the first time I lost, which is the time I'm specifically mentioning, out of 900 and something people, I don't remember the exact number, 946 people that voted. I got 12 votes out of that. And I thought I had more than 12 people who supported me. There's far more than 12 people who said they were going to support me. And it'd be different if I got like a small, at least a semblance of a following. No, like it was crushing. And that was the first time in my whole entire life that I ever felt like truly rejected. Because I was fortunate enough to grow up with like parents and friends who like gave me tons of affirmation. And I never felt bad like failing at something. I was always in musicals in high school. And like I never felt bad not getting the lead because I knew that I had people in my corner regardless. But then like this was eye-opening because this showed that I didn't have people in my corner, at least like in that environment. And so like it was in hindsight, it's not that big of a deal because it was just like a peer contest. Like, but at that moment, like that was just a eye-opening thing. And the way it affected me positively is my last year running where I did win student government president. That only happened because I lost so many times. No one ran against me my last year running. And people used to joke and say I only won because no one ran against me. But I would argue that I won the day I lost that second election. And because I learned so much, way more from losing and from feeling like I didn't have supporters than I had ever learned from winning at anything. So yeah, that's that experience.
It was something that you had never even come close to experiencing before. So it was a shock to your system.
100%. I always had love and affirmation. And it's different when like there's a panel of like a select group of people, like an interview group or people deciding like different things, saying that you're not good enough because you still have your friends. But like if you lose in like some sort of peer contest, popularity contest, election, that's your friends deciding that they just didn't care enough either to vote or to support you, or they didn't like you enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and just a popularity contest in general, it's like you don't hear of many like, hey, we're having a popularity contest. Like, but they go by other names. And at the end of the day, when you really think about it, it's like, yeah, this is just a popularity contest. And as crazy as that can seem, I would be hard pressed. Maybe again, this is just my own ego, but I would be so hard pressed to meet someone who wouldn't care at all if they just like if something like that happened. It's just a large group of their peers and they got like 4 votes. And it's like, I only got 4 votes.
Yeah.
4 votes? Like, what?
And one of those is mine.
Yeah. I got 3 votes.
Oh man.
No, man. It's I don't know. It's crazy. It's something that I've been thinking a lot about this quarantine. Just caring about what people think about you. It's we all have different levels of it, and no matter
Mhm.
how enlightened someone is, I just feel like that just can't really go away.
Yeah,
You know?
it's important because it shows you. I mean, your reputation is carried with you. You know what I mean? And that's like how you gain people's respect before you do have any chance to like have actions with them or prove to them that you're trustworthy or have good character is your reputation. That's like your loan for people's trust. And so that's why I think it's like important to care about, but at the same time, like you shouldn't always like care so much about what people think because that's going to hold you back.
Yeah, exactly. It goes back to the first thing we were talking about, which is the difference between thinking about something to a useful extent versus
Mm-hmm.
overthinking something and obsessing over it. Like Miriam's call earlier, you were on that call.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. Like the difference between someone calling me and me going, okay, yeah, sure. Let me, I'll ring you. I'll send you over to Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Difference between that and me going, oh, okay, yeah, you're looking for that. Okay, sure. Well, I'll send you to our expert Sam. He's been in that industry for about 20 years. I'll shoot you over
Mm-hmm.
to him.
Yeah.
The person who's about to be sent over to you on that call, they think they're now dealing in their heads with two completely different people.
Yeah.
Because it is what you have a reputation now. They have like they're starting to have some like tiny mold of who you are as a person and what you can provide for them. So that would be like a useful
Yeah.
uh,
Very useful reputation, like brand type thing. But yeah, no, that was that experience. So cool.
yeah. No. Well, Sam, I would have voted for you.
Oh, thank you, dude. That's amazing. The number of people who said that and didn't is still there. But hey, I trust you. Don't worry. I
Well,
believe you.
I certainly would. I would vote for you, but like obviously, if I thought someone else was cooler or more popular, I would vote for them.
Yeah, dude. Same, dude. That was my my slogan my first time running because I was a freshman. I didn't like know anything. It was I don't know and I don't care. Second time was it's Miller time, and my third time was third time's a charm.
That's us. I probably would have liked the second one. I definitely, if I didn't
Yeah.
know anybody, I've been like, it's Miller time. You know
That
what?
time I lost by 10 votes that time. So I was much closer the second time. But
Yeah. So, I mean, before we get out of here, what was the big, obviously, like if no one, is running against you, that it does make it little easier, but like, what did you do differently? In terms of the parameters of the competition or what have you, like what was your mindset and how did you approach it differently each year after?
dude, I love that question so much. Like that's a good question because that is like what I think that's what I if I had to pick like one like mindset that's defined like me as an individual, that's the type of thing is like how the difference between my first and second elections and my third election is the difference between like younger Sam and like Sam at today. And that's all I did was realize that there wasn't a difference, that there are some things that you can't just win in a day. The main difference was that everybody knew me by that point. I had been around and involved and active running more than once, which most people ran once, they lost, and they quit student government. They didn't do it again. But people saw my flyers, not just their freshman year, not just their sophomore year, but their junior year as well. Like Sam Miller, everybody knew I was going to run that last year. I didn't have to make an announcement. And it's just, I was there for people and no one ran against me because I just assumed that role. Like I just went into it because of failing so many times. And that's like at Power, they always talk about like failing forward and things. And when they said that in the interview, and that's when I knew I wanted to work for this company, is because they said that. And I learned that like from experience. Like that's my big epiphany that I got out of that whole thing. And once again, I want to acknowledge, I feel weird talking about those student government elections because I know that like it's a very like small part, but like whether you're like drowning in a pool or a puddle, still drowning. Like whether it's big or small, it's still big. It's still like big to the person. And so yeah, that's what affected me. So yeah, dude, that's the answer.
Dude, that's beautiful. And you know, of course, looking back at that actual position, maybe that position now doesn't hold much weight to you. But I mean, we're talking about it right now. Look at what it did for your mindset, and
Yeah.
look at how it has affected your ability to push forward with your career. And it's only going to continue. Like if it happened then, and you're thinking about it and talking about it and actually putting it into practice right now, it's only going to exponentiate and build up and build steam. And to bring it back to power, like you did that at an early age. So like you were here, and then
Hmm.
like failing was right here. And like
Hmm.
most people, like you said, would fail and then not, they would think like, oh wait, no, this is failure. I want to get over here to success.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, I'm going to not run again. Let me go this way. But you were
Yeah.
like, okay, didn't get it. I'm going to fail. So I have to keep going this way. Okay. Failed again. Let me just keep going until eventually you found success. Like it's on the
Yeah.
other side of failure. And it's really cool that you learned that at a younger age. I wish I had, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I still don't know if I have learned that, but we will see. Sam, thanks, man. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for being here
Yeah.
and talking to me.
Thank you for having me, man. I felt flattered when you asked. I was like super excited. Gave me a reason to dress up. It was amazing.
It was really just because I was looking at your outfits and looking at your hair, and I was like, this guy's got to clean himself up. You know what? I'll invite him on the show, and then we'll go from there. But no, I
That's
appreciate it,
great.
buddy. You're one of my favorite people here, and yeah,
Oh,
thanks so much, man. It's Miller time.
oh my gosh. See you, man.
Bye, buddy.